Welcome back to Heart-Led, Soul-Fed. This is season 4. I'm super excited. Thank you for joining me once again, and I hope you enjoyed your summer. Let's go. This is a live show and podcast all about love, light, intuition, and your soul's purpose. Season 4, episode 205 is solo. We're talking about addiction and trauma, hungry ghosts, and Dr. Gabor Mate. Depression and anxiety are a side effect of not living your life intuitively, not trusting your gut, the lost connections with yourself and others. My first book, Intuition Saved My Life, is a guide for empaths, lightworkers, and sensitives, and it's available on Amazon now. Unleash Your Soul's Purpose Community Mentorship and Soul Healers Club opens September 16th. Join us in community. A shout out to our Soul Healers community, Gitte, Catherine, Robert, Lillian, and Faith. Replays can be found anywhere you watch your favorite videos or listen to your favorite podcast. Please like, subscribe, and follow, and join us live every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Mountain. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I know it's a little early. Many of us tend to, we're still on vacation. We're doing whatever. I know that there's some kids that are going back to school, and that's really, what the focus is on for many of us, whether you have kids or university, or maybe you're in your mid-50s and you're going back to school, whatever it is. I just wanted to celebrate. This is our 205th episode. This is season 4. Now, it has changed and evolved. It first started out as the Power of Healing Your Energy show. And then as we're going through, many of you are enlightened and on the healing path, doing the work, whether you're a healer, light worker, empath, or you're the school bus driver. Doesn't matter. We're all doing the work. And I felt as we're leveling up together, we're growing together, we're connected together, that things have to change and evolve, just like everything. Nothing can stay the same. If anything has taught us from 2020 until now is change and evolve and embrace the change and love yourself. And I think I saw a quote, I've seen a couple quotes either from Wayne Dyer, but Brene Brown talking about trust. Like, you don't just trust at 1,000% at hyper speed. It comes in little bits and chunks, just like healing does, just like any of the work we do. And I want to welcome you. Come on in, say hello. The more that you interact with this program, the more people are going to show up that need to see this, that need to hear this. They're drawn to this. They're curious. But a lot of us have a lot of fear. Maybe we don't want to be shamed or guilted, or we feel we're going to be judged. We can't be authentic. We can't be ourselves. Well, I'll tell you what, this is not the place. Everyone is welcome. Doesn't matter who you are, what you do, what religion you follow. I don't care what party you follow. I don't care. If you're here to do the work, because that's what this group is about. This is what Soul Healers is all about. Hi, Michaela Jones. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of season 4. This is our first episode for season 4. I'm super, super pumped. Hi, Gitte. She's part of our Soul Healers group. Thank you so much for being one of the first. You and Kat were the first to join, and there's many more to follow. Michaela is hoping spirits come through. Well, spirit is always talking to you. In fact, I believe Dolores Cannon had said that the more we recognize signs, symbols, and synchronicities, we are able to talk to spirit. Not just myself, because I'm a medium. It's something you develop. It's a muscle We all have it. And that's why I do the intuitive mentorships, the intuitive courses, because that's where it starts. I think I said yesterday in a group, a networking group, which was one of the first authentic group of networkers I've ever met. Anyways, and that was through Alignable. So if you're not familiar with Alignable, get on there. But you know, it's really about being authentic and feeling like you can be yourself. And there's a lot of people out there that talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. If you say something, I digress. We are just going to go full out. I just started reading this book. Well, I'm kind of halfway through. Dr. Gabor Mate, and I had to go and, see how to pronounce his name because he's an interesting fellow. I don't know if you've ever followed his work, know who he is. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I've just finished watching his documentary, Wisdom of Trauma. You can donate to the cause or you can watch it for free. I mean, it's any amount. You can either watch it for free or donate $1,000. I mean, it's up to you. But after watching the documentary, I could feel his pain. And he talked about that, you know, trying to help people, being a doctor, um, especially with addictions. He also did palliative care as well. He's been doing this for, I think he said 50 years. But at the end of the day, he was an empath. I could see it in his eyes. He looked so heavy. And he even said, you know what? I have an addiction to classical music, meaning he kept buying music and ignoring his family and just escaping in that world. And really, that's what addiction is to escape the pain and the trauma that you feel. That's it, full stop. And here's the problem, and I've done this too, is when I would see people on the street because they're there, maybe they're high functioning or they're on the street, whatever it is, we tend to focus on the problem. We need to focus on the person because the person feels like a ghost, and that's the whole reason for the name of, for the work that he does. They're hungry. They're they want to feel loved. They want to feel accepted. They want to feel seen. I think that's the biggest piece is to feel seen where, in this crazy world of social media and image and ego and titles and credentials, boy, oh boy, do they pile that on you to make you feel like you are less than, that you're not good enough, that you're missing something. You're not missing anything. What you're missing is they're trying to drag that out of you. They're trying to drag that out of you. So, yeah, in the realm. And he's written many other books. I mean, let me know if you've read it. And I'm sure if you go to your local library, you can get a copy of it. You can listen to it. There's Audible. There's so many other ways that you can get access to the book. And I've always been a real fan of the local library. In fact, I know that quite a few homeless hang out at the library because it's a safe place for them. And it's also a quiet place, right? All right. So, yeah, I'm really just asking, do you love books as much as I do? Is it a physical book? Is it a digital book? Do you like magazines? Whatever it is, I really found him connecting the dots, meaning he's an empath and he's helping people and he was unknowingly absorbing trauma, which I did. Many of us do until we start to realize that we're trying to help. It's like putting the oxygen mask on someone else before you got to take care of yourself first. And he actually, and he's so humble. He said he's human. He's not perfect and no one is. And really that's what it's about. There is no to perceive that, you have to be perfect and everything, and imperfection implies that there's an imperfection. But guess what? You already are perfect. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's no flaws. And really I want to honor courage and bravery and speak openly about addiction. And it's not just about drugs. I mean, drugs are not just heroin and cocaine. Drugs are alcohol. I think alcohol is probably the most abused and societally, "Oh, oh, you're not drinking? Why not? Have a drink." That type of talk does not help. You have to respect people where they're at. But many of us use that and shopping and food and pornography and whatever else to escape whatever we're feeling. We don't want to feel it. We don't want to feel it. Um, and there was a quote in the book, "You're not dying," like he had said, "You're not dying for Coke, you're dying because of it." And, the guy replied back and said, "Well, I'm half Irish and half indigenous, so I'm screwed already." And I was like, wow. So that brings me back to another book that I started with last year, Mark Wyman, It Didn't Start With You. And really, it's talking about intergenerational trauma. Who here has said, "Oh, I'm just like my mom or my dad," or "It's always been like this and they were like that, so I'm going to be." We predispose ourselves. We That's a perception. And I want to tell you, in the eyes of God, in the eyes of spirit, in the eyes of the universe, whatever you believe in, you got to believe in something. You're holy. You're perfect. You're a perfect child of God, and I think you have to remember that. Remember who you are and why you're here. And if you're like, "I have no idea," I would love to connect with you further. And many of it, addictions are tied to, obviously, trauma. We talked about that already. Um, but there's also ADD, ADHD, mental health. It is all intermingled and commingled. I think, from reading this book, he's shown all of these addicts, they're people, they're human. They're just like that could be me easily, easily. And I know years ago I had a drinking problem. I'd go blackout drunk. And then, like the addict is, they're like, "Oh, I get that high and I can be somebody else and I have more self-esteem. I would do things I wouldn't normally do." That's all part of it. And it's a circle, a cycle. Um, I know they talk about that honeymoon period and all that and abuse cycle. I feel it's the same way. Because when you wake up, you still have the same problems. And then you feel like crap. And you're going to do anything you can to not feel like that anymore. See how this works. See how this works. Um, and there were so many stories in this book where they were doing good. They were dry for a couple months. And then something happened. I mean, they're always on the edge of something happening. Do you know what I mean? And then they were found. They overdosed, and it just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And and he hails from Vancouver, British Columbia, which is, where I was born. And he talks about Hastings Street. I mean, if you're familiar with Vancouver, Hastings is Canada's number one drug capital. Now, I don't know if there is another place in Canada that has that distinction. So I also wanna go back. I wanna go to Johann Hari because he talks about depression. And he's written a few books, Chasing the Scream, which is about the FBI. It's about Billie Holiday. It is about the inception of drugs in the US. You should read that book. It's very eye-opening. I had no idea they were connected. Had no idea. And then there was a president involved as well. So, and he also wrote about lost connections, which made the connection for me for my anxiety and my depression. I mean, pill is a placebo. It might get you to a certain point, but you have to be able to go, okay, I've plateaued. And that's like with anything. What's next? And that's why I talk about 360-degree healing. You don't just hit it mentally, you hit it on all sides, not all at once. You have to look at all aspects of your life because, as they say, the body keeps score. Meaning, you could be the healthiest athlete in the world, but if there's somewhere in the body that you have not healed, some pain, some trauma, some loss, it's almost like having a spot on glass. It's there and it will always be there until you address it. And I see a lot of clients like this. They'll be like, they put up this front, and I did it too. No, there's nothing wrong with me. Everything's good. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. And then I'm like, okay, but I feel you're very sad. There's a lot of sadness. Where does this sadness come from? And a lot of times they're like, "What? No." There's denial. I get it, because they don't want to feel vulnerable because in the past they've been judged, they've been shamed, they've been blamed, they've been yelled at, they've been told to stop being so emotional, get over it. Ooh, that's a big one. You're crazy, whatever it is, whatever label somebody tries to put on you is because they don't want to deal with their own stuff. Truly, it's easier to focus on somebody else. Isn't it? Than it is ourselves? Than it is ourselves. All right. So I just want to ask where everybody's from. If this is your first time, even if you're on the replay, please say hello. If you have a question, ask. You can even send me questions via the podcast, wherever you happen to listen to, whether it's Spotify or Anchor or Google or Apple. Feel free to send questions. If you have suggestions for guests and topics, send them my way, but also go through the over 200 episodes and over 400 videos on YouTube, because I'm sure there's a topic there that I've already talked about. All right. And really, that's all it's about here. Let's see. This is interesting. Jeff, I believe you're a first timer. Harry Houdini's wife, Bess, tried for 10 years to contact her husband through psychics, mediums, and seances. They all failed, in quotes. In the end, Bess said, I do not believe anyone can contact the dead, nor do I believe there are any spirits or ghosts. See, that's you know what? I've actually worked with clients that when I first started, they were so desperate to hear from someone on the other side. Um, and I had to actually turn her away because it was an obsession. So that's exactly what Jeff is talking about, being obsessed with having to hear something. I need a sign, I need a symbol, I need something significant. And if I don't get it, then that means I can't contact them. And that's not true. And that's not true. It's about tapping in to the heart and to the soul, clearing away the ego, because ego wants proof. Science wants proof. Well, science is just catching up to what we have known for thousands of years. But thank you for that. And interesting as well. And your proof of these spirits is what exactly? Again, it's about going back to our senses, our clairs, if you're familiar with that. I do have a show about that. So we're going to move on. And, part of this book, I mean, there's quite a few quotes in this book. One of them, I never really followed Shakespeare, but I thought this was quite haunting. Um, Julius Caesar said, Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. So, I mean, if you want to read into that, what does that tell you? Drugs have been around for a very long time. People have been trying to escape the pain that they feel, that they don't want to feel anymore. Um, I also read Theon Fleury's book, Playing with Fire, and his Coke and alcohol addictions. My God, I think it ran like almost 20 years. And some of the stuff he wrote, I was just like, wow, dude, you're still alive? It blows me away. So clearly God has a plan, right? And then again, when they pass or there's an overdose, there's a plan as well. All right. When you die, that's not the end. It's only the beginning. And you came here to learn something. So you're either going to learn what you need to learn, or you're going to come back again and relearn it. And as one of my mentors said, you come back, you choose your family too, by the way, whether you want to admit it or not. I know I have my moments. I know that. um, but one gentleman also said that the Portland home, the place where they come in to dry out, to clean up, to get help, it's called Portland Hotel. This was the only home he's ever had. That really made me sad. That really made me sad. I teared up. I've teared up quite a bit. I teared up watching the documentary, and really crying is cleansing, and you're connecting, you're empathizing, you have the compassion, and those are really key in this world. And what was there was another, there was one gentleman in a group circle with Dr. Gabor Mate, um, and he said, I don't have any dreams. That breaks my heart because dreams are part of the programs that I do, meaning you lost them somewhere along the way. You lost them. You forgot about them. Someone told them they were dumb. They didn't matter. You don't matter. Not true. Not true. Wrong. And the more you push back, and really it's a knowing who you are. Knowing who you are. So really, yeah, like I said, drugs are an escape. Um, so is there anyone here that has questions? Anybody want to maybe share what they're struggling with? Maybe they feel they have an addiction, or someone they love has an addiction. Um, I'm trying to remember. I think it was a TLC show. Oh, Intervention. When that first, I think that came out 10 years ago. I don't even watch cable or anything anymore. So I just remember it was very, um, in a way, it was very hostile because, in a sense, there's a whole group of people and you're walking into this, you have no idea. So, of course, they're going to want to bail and run, because if they feel they're being persecuted. They're like a wild animal in a sense. They just want to run. I get it. I absolutely get it. All right. So for September, October, November, December, January, February, so far, every month is going to have a theme, and I'm really going to focus on our health, because I feel that's the most important piece to everything. September, we'll be talking about Alzheimer's. This is something near and dear to me. It's funny. Um, Spirit sets you up, God sets you up. You don't know at the time, but many years ago, I worked with dementia and Alzheimer's patients, taking them, to go get groceries, the doctor, help cleaning their home, organizing whatever. And now here I am on the other side. My father was diagnosed early Alzheimer's. And I got to see him last week, and let me tell you, he's not the same person. Even though I only seen him 8 months ago, he looks absolutely frail. Just and it's heartbreaking. So, I wanna share more about that because I wanna make sure everybody has a living will. Make sure you have everything in order before the mind goes. Because do you want family, friends, and or the government deciding what your final wishes are and how you want to live, whether it's fully living, half living, in hospice, whatever it is. So that will be for September. If you have any other topics, like I said, that you would want me to discuss, that's really near and dear to your heart, or someone that you absolutely love, to be on my show, I would love to have them on. So send them my way. Gete is just saying proof can be something about signs and symbols we, the ego, don't expect. And we dismiss. Oh, that's a coincidence. I hear that one a lot. So we're basically saying poo poo to you, universe. I don't send me anymore because I don't believe. I think there's the magic is to go, wow, okay, cool. So I seen a feather. Send me more. That's how this works. And the universe is like, you're paying attention. Here come the floodgates. Are you ready? whether it comes through as a conversation, a picture, in your dreams. There's many ways that manifestation symbols, signs, all of that comes through. Um, Gitte, I'm actually addicted to painkillers because of sickness. That is actually quite um, common. Uh, I believe that's what happens to a lot of people is they hurt somewhere or they get hurt, and then they're fed painkillers. Um, and it's really hard to get off because you just don't want to feel the pain anymore. So we're going to have to talk. I know that Gitte is part of our Soul Healers Club. So maybe I might have to integrate some more things into our club in regards to the topic, addiction, painkillers, pain. Whether it's movement or it's meditation, Qigong is amazing for stuff like this as well to help relieving and pain, whatever pain it happens to be. Um, thank you. Thank you. I know it's not an end. Uh, Nothing really is an end, it's just another chapter. And how do I want to see, my relationship with my father in this next chapter of my life, of our life together. So, all right, Unleash Your Purpose community, mentorship, soul healers. It all starts September 16th. Our free group as well will be starting. So, I mean, if people say, I have no idea, well, I always advertise all the free things that I do. So, this is part of it as well. I have free courses on Udemy. We have our Soul Healers Club, which you get access to Ask Me Anythings. You get a personalized video message for the month and what to look out for, what's going on, cards, all that good stuff, signs and symbols. Absolutely. And then there's also an intuitive channeling monthly space as well. That's part of that Patreon group. So if you need the link for that, let me know. And of course, the new moon in Virgo is coming up, and we'll be doing new moons and full moon events only on YouTube and accessed via Patreon. So if you're interested in any of those, definitely send me a comment or a message. And I do a monthly update every month. So if you're not part of my YouTube community, get over there and don't miss out what's going on for September. As soon as I say September, I think of Earth, Wind, and Fire. The best song ever for September, or anytime actually. So, all right. Thank you, Gitte. She so recommends to join. And I mean, there's different tiers. You don't have to throw like hundreds of dollars at me. It doesn't work that way. So, all right. Well, I love you all. Please take care of yourself. Please remember healing begins where the ego ends, and let us be your soft landing. Until next time. Do you feel stuck? Are you in pain? Are you looking to create your soul's purpose, but you don't know where to start? Unleash Your Soul's Purpose Mentorship. Hi, my name is Christine Gold, and I'm the founder of 24 Karat Healing. The highly experimental mentorship will help you discover your gifts, free them, and shine your inner light to spread unconditional love, unleashing your magic and your gifts, and ultimately your purpose. You will experience phenomenal breakthroughs, aha moments, epiphanies, energy healing, clearings, inner child work, higher intuition, vivid dream recall. All training slides, PDFs, and audio meditations are recorded and available for you to watch at any time. You can take them with you wherever you go. I hope to see you soon.